What's up, guys? Barry Gaming here, back with some more Idle Heroes, and today I'm kind of reflecting on some of the things I've heard from the community. Some people actually asked me my opinions on this topic specifically. I think they even said Rec did a video on this. I didn't check that one out just yet. It would be intriguing to see what he thinks about it, but this is something I've been asking for forever, a bound copy. However, I of course said it should be A copies, like A- copies, but what they did give us were bound items. So these items here were kind of given to us last event. These are resonance crystals with a mighty power of soul, can affect the awakening tier of heroes used in the awakening temple. These heroes who used bound items to awaken cannot be put in the auction house. You are forced to have these heroes. Now you couldn't even get here free to play unless you use contract starry gems to buy some additional packs. But I do think B- is a little bit on the low end. But here's where the issue comes into play, or rather lack thereof, I guess I should say. I know some people are like, oh, there's more B- copies. That's just gonna make people making accounts and doing events and stuff to, you know, recycle them. Because as you guys know, there's a lot of bots out there. People make tons of bots to get these free awakenings. And they just awaken a ton, and if they hit something good, they sell on the auction house, and then they sell those regular starry gems for a profit on the open market, on the black market. Granted, the black market's down, I think, below like 20 bucks per 2,500, which is just really inexpensive. Cheap. It's crazy. If you guys want to buy a ton, I can get you hooked up, but it has to be big quantities. But that's neither here nor there. That's one thing that they stopped giving out, those really nice ones. Remember how we used to get so many B+ and it didn't even take much? People could take, like, they could just literally jump on old VIP 13 accounts. They could buy a bunch of B+ and B copies, do awakenings, hit like A- copies, sell them, and then sell the starry gems on the black market. That's been a thing for quite a while. However, with the introduction of these guys right here, the bound items, these are ones I've been talking about for a very long time. And in reality, it didn't even have to do with regular awakenings. My whole thought process is when the soul perfection system came out, in order to take like a B+ hero and upgrade them, actually, you know, I don't think I have any super strong B+, do I? This one's like really close to being upgraded. So is this one. They're both like really close to being upgraded. But essentially what happens is when you do have these B+ heroes and you get them to the point where they are at a quality that can be upgraded to A-, you still have to feed off like 5 A- hero copies to build them up. And that's not really that feasible, because even if you jump to the auction house and you look at the cheapest A- heroes, maybe one day when I'm doing a video, this will actually work for the first click. You can see they're like in the 5-ish thousand range. I think the cheapest we've ever seen it is about 5,000 at Christmas time when I bought all my Yorm Tum copies. But again, essentially you need like 3 A- heroes beyond all the other copies you need. You're sitting at like 20,000 starry gems you need to invest in a B+ hero to make them an A-. And at that point, it just seems a little foolish, because what hero, like, legit, even if we go look at the best heroes, or I should say like some of the most expensive heroes probably, on the cheap end, they're still like in the teens. They're not even crazy high expensive. You could just buy what you want and still get a decent copy. I mean, look, giant killer, skill damage, control precision, and 5,700 attack. That's really good. Look at this one, giant killer, armor break, control precision. Still really good. There's absolutely no world where upgrading an A- or a B+ into an A- is a feasible thing, just because of the amount of food you have to put into it. What I was actually saying is, instead of even getting these types of crystals where they're a bound copy, just give us like A- puppets. You know how we have all these puppets in the world now that most of us just don't even use? I mean, look, I got 25 9-star puppets here. These puppets can only be used as food. You can't build them as heroes. You can't like do anything else with them, but they can be used as food for projects. What if they made these puppets instead of stones as well, that you can't retire them into anything, you can't do anything like that? Make it so that You can't use them in this, like you can't retire them for value in Starry Gems. You can't put them in the statue for additional power, but they can be exclusively used for upgrading, especially for free to play, upgrading B plus copies to A minus, because if you get like 3 A minus puppets or something like that, you can get the other ones for very inexpensive, and you can actually get your first giant killer copy ever. And I think that'll be a really cool strategy for free to play players to get resources. Now, I do think this is a step in the right direction, and the way that this was built, the people who are making all these free to play accounts, it's going to be very hard for them to use this system as well. Because yes, they're still bound, so they can always retire these copies, get more Starry Gems that they can then do more Soul Awakenings on. But the most important part here is they're unobtainable right now for free to play, again, without spending contract Starry Gems. And if you're going to spend contract Starry Gems, that kind of makes it irrelevant on what you're doing unless you already have a ton of them sitting there. So I do think these are a really good thing for the game, but I do think they need to make them, number one, more readily available. Like, they need to make the B minuses, like, just make them possible free to play. Make people use all 640 profit orbs and all these other things, because again, most of these bot accounts probably aren't going to have all these additional resources saved up to do actual account type things. They're there to farm Starry Gems and that's it. So I don't know if they're taking the time to, you know, save up wishing coins, save up profit orbs, save up heroic scrolls. I don't know if they have that going on, but if they do, okay, sure, they put a lot of effort into this, they have a lot of accounts, that's fine. Maybe make it so that even low spenders or Starry Gem spenders, like the Starry Gem value packs, have a chance to get like B plus stones, because then again, at the very least, a B plus stone can upgrade into an A minus with a relatively good chance. I think it's like, what, like a 5% chance, or a little bit over a 5%. I'll take 5% as a free-to-play player any day of the week. Heck, you guys saw this past week, and the reason why we now are up to, what, 77,000 Starry Gems is because we actually got a free awakening and finally hit an A copy. It was an Alakita. So close to seeing that green poof in the sky. But I do think these are a step in the right direction. I love to get your guys' feedback and pass this along to DH Games as well. So if you want to leave a comment down below, please let me know your take on this. Hit the thumbs up button on this video too. I want to make sure the algorithm sees it, and a lot of people in the Idle Heroes community get to see this type of thing, because I do think this is, again, a step in the right direction. I don't think they took a step far enough, but everything DH Games does is kind of slow, so you have to be prepared that this is going to be a slow process for them to continue to give us more resources. And it's just crazy because, like, Giant Killer is just such a power-up. You're doubling the damage of a hero. The only other way to even come close to doubling the damage of a hero at this point, I mean, like, Lifestar, I guess, maybe? Like, the Lifestar is, like, maybe one way that's doubling the potential damage of your hero. Destiny Transition, of course, the level of your stars is one way to do it, but, like, you gotta have a lot of progress on your account to get that, whereas you can get an A- hero day one on your account. So let me know what you guys think. I'd love to hear your take on this, and I'm probably gonna go watch Rek's video, because again, I didn't really see, I just heard someone mention that Rek made a video on it. They wanted to hear my take on it, so that's my take without filtering it, without hearing anybody else's. I'll go back, maybe watch Rek, and then have a follow-up video to talk about it. We'll see. Hopefully you guys enjoy this one. Leave a comment down below. I'll see you guys next time.